What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and you're here for some more Champions League free picks. This time for Wednesday, October 25th. Another day, another 8 games on the schedule. So stay tuned for these free picks, guys. And of course, we have a couple of games in the MLS playoffs. We have those wild card matches going on, a couple of games, and you can find that in a separate video up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. So go on there, guys, check it out, hit that like button, subscribe. And of course, feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos. As far as my best bets go, you can find them up on the Pickdawgz website. Go to that premium section, sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass if that's something you want to do. As far as Tuesday picks goes, we hit 4 of 8 free picks, and as far as my premiums goes, we made a profit on that as well. Quite a nice profit, I must add. We were very close to making even more, but Benfica failed to come through to us, and they couldn't score a goal at home, which was quite disappointing. And I'm actually quite sorry I put that game in my premium slate, but we move on, guys, and we move on to the Wednesday. We have another 8 games, like I said. The first one is between Feyenoord and Lazio. That's a 12:45 p.m. Eastern time game, and both of these teams have been doing a decent job when it comes to scoring goals in the Champions League so far. Lazio has 3 scored goals. Feyenoord has 4 scored goals. However, despite scoring 4 goals, Feyenoord still has 0 points so far in this Champions League season. Defensively, neither team is quite solid, and even though Lazio is coming off of a 2-0 win against Sassuolo, I don't think that their defensive problems will just go away. Same goes for Feyenoord. They have been destroying everybody in the Dutch Eredivisie League, but like I said, in the Champions League, they have been conceding a lot of goals, and you know what? They are not having a fun time at all when it comes to that. So I'm gonna go with over 2.5 in this one at -143. And I just want to quickly correct myself. Feyenoord has 3 points. They don't have 0 points. They did beat Celtic in that game at home, I believe 2-0 it was or something like that. So just to correct myself. But as far as this game goes, Feyenoord against Lazio over 2.5 goals. In the next matchup, we have Celtic playing against Atletico Madrid, and I'm keeping this one very simple. Even though Celtic is probably the best team in the Scottish Premiership, they are on the 2-game winning streak. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. All the games they lost were in the Champions League, and now they're facing this Atletico Madrid, who hasn't lost any of their last 7 games. They are on a 6-game winning streak. They are scoring a ton of goals, and Celtic is certainly not good enough defensively to stop them. So Atletico Madrid on the money line, -114. This could be a similar game like Union Berlin and Napoli were on Tuesday, but I think that Atletico Madrid will come out on top in this one. So I'm gonna take Atletico Madrid on the money line. Newcastle and Borussia Dortmund is the next matchup, and it should be a big one because both teams are playing pretty good right now, especially Newcastle, who's been scoring a lot of goals, especially when playing at home. In their last 4 home games, they have scored 11 goals. They've kept 3 clean sheets in those 4 games, and they're now undefeated in their last 8 games. Borussia Dortmund, on the other side, haven't lost any of their last 5 games. They're coming off of a 1-0 win against Werder Bremen. However, they're playing a lot better at home than they are on the road, especially when it comes to scoring goals. And so far in the Champions League, they haven't scored a single goal in 2 games. This is definitely a must-win game for Borussia Dortmund if they want to have a chance at qualifying for the next stage. But I'm not sure they can do it, and neither the books, as we see. Newcastle at -165 at home. That's a pretty steep price to pay, even though they have been outstanding. So I'm gonna go for a bit of a value here. I'm gonna take Newcastle to win and both teams to score at +195. Uh, can Newcastle keep a clean sheet? I mean, they could, but like I said, Borussia Dortmund will have to step it up in this game if they want to have a chance in going to the next stage. So I'm gonna go with Newcastle to win and both teams to score. PSG and AC Milan is the next matchup we have in the Champions League, and Milan is coming off of a loss to Juventus at home. However, they will be getting Mike Maignan back between the posts for this game, and that will be a significant improvement and definitely a huge confidence boost for this team. Milan hasn't scored a goal or conceded a goal so far in the Champions League, while PSG has conceded 4 and scored 3, and they did get a win in their last Champions League game, and no, actually in the first Champions League game against Borussia Dortmund, but ended up losing to Newcastle in the previous one. And I think this is going to be the game where both teams will go for it, especially Milan, who has to get some points on the board. And for that to happen, they will have to score goals. And we know that PSG's defense is not as good as some people might think. So I'm going to go with both teams to score an over 2.5 in this one. And we are getting it at a nice plus 106. RB Leipzig is playing against Crvena Zvezda, who are the Serbian team in the Champions League, and this team is actually on a three-game winning streak right now, and they did get a draw in the previous game against Young Boys at home 2-2. However, I think this game is going to be a lot different because Leipzig is playing really well this season. They're scoring a lot of goals. They're quite dangerous. They have some outstanding players up front, and this is the home game for them. This is the game they simply have to win. As we can see, they're pretty heavy favorites, so we have to dig deep for some value here. And I find it in the goal scorer prop. So Openda has been quite solid for Leipzig so far this season. Whether they play in Bundesliga or the Champions League, he's been scoring also all over the board. And we are getting him at minus 118 to score in this game. So I'm going to take Openda to score for Leipzig at any time at minus 118. Whether Leipzig gets a win here or not, I don't really care as long as Openda scores a goal, and I definitely think he will. Young Boys is hosting Manchester City, and I'm keeping this one very, very simple. As good as Young Boys is for that Swiss Super League, they're definitely probably the best team there. In the Champions League, they have been struggling quite a lot. They got a 2-2 draw against Crvena Zvezda, but lost 3-1 to Leipzig at home. And I expect something similar here against Manchester City. Manchester City finally got a win. They beat Brighton 2-1 in the EPL, and now they have to transfer that to the Champions League. So I'm going to take City to win at over 3.5 goals, plus 120. I think that City alone can get us over 3.5 line. And if Young Boys decides to do something, try to step it up, that's going to be even better for us. But I definitely think that City will get a win here. So I'm taking City to win and over 3.5 goals. Barcelona and Shakhtar is the next matchup in the Champions League, and Barcelona is playing pretty well right now, I have to say, and they have kept another clean sheet against Athletic Bilbao this past weekend. They did get that late winner in the 77th minute or so for a 1-0 win. While in the Champions League, Barcelona has scored 6 goals so far and kept 2 clean sheets. They are leading this group. I don't think it's a question if they will be advancing to the next stage. The question is, can they keep another clean sheet? Shakhtar has 3 points so far this season. They're in third place. They will be in the competition with Antwerp and Porto for that second place and to go to the next stage. And I think that Shakhtar, because they're playing in a good form right now, they are on a two-game winning streak. They have scored 6 goals in those 2 games, and they're coming off of a Champions League win against Royal Antwerp 3-2. I think that Shakhtar can get to the scoreboard here. I don't think that Barcelona can keep so many clean sheets in a row, especially because their depth is significantly reduced. They are missing a bunch of players in that attacking end, especially and in the midfield. So I'm gonna take both teams to score an over 2.5 plus 114. Am I leaning towards Barcelona? Yes, but minus 500 is not a good price to take in this game. So instead, I'm gonna go with both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. And the last game of the day in the Champions League is between Royal Antwerp and Porto. I think that both teams will go for it here, especially Antwerp, who is the home team, and they need to get some points on board if they want to go for that second place or maybe even third place for the Europa League. But Porto on the other side, they are in second place right now. They have 3 points. Defensively, they haven't been that solid. But their offense has been clicking as of late, and they have scored 3 goals in their last 2 games. They have kept a couple of clean sheets, which is definitely going to be a huge confidence boost. But like I said, I think that Royal Antwerp will have to step it up in this game. So I'm going to go with over 2.5, minus 124. I'm simply trying to remove the volatility out of the pick by not taking both teams to score as well. You never know what can happen, but with both teams going for the win, I think that we're going to see some goals. So, Royal Antwerp against Porto over 2.5 goals at minus 124. That's it, everyone. These were free picks for the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday. I hope you have a great day, guys. I wish you all the luck in the world with your picks, your bets, and of course, feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos, and I'll be more than happy to engage with you in discussion or some explanations if that's something you do. So, thanks, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.